Welcome to the Socially Unfiltered podcast,
where we'll be taking you along for our deep dives and doom scrolls through social media, entrepreneurship, and pop culture.
We're your hosts, Lex and Veronica, and together we're looking at everything through an unfiltered lens on the things that shape our everyday lives and society.
So grab a drink and get ready to explore the uncharted territories of online trends, share candid conversations, and uncover the stories behind the headlines.
This is the Socially Unfiltered podcast.
Wait, you know what's hilarious about this episode is it's literally the Jonas Brothers song. Been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but we live underwater.
Not much has changed other than Charleston being totally flooded.
Yeah, we actually do live underwater now. I mean, by the time this episode airs, hopefully Charleston won't be underwater, but right now it pretty much is.
Right now we pretty much are. We're in like a weird quiet part right now because we're like in between the bands of the rain, so it's like not raining right now, which is great, but downtown stays flooded if like there's literally an inch of water. So
just
who knows when downtown will drain out, but yeah, hopefully by the time this comes out, everything will be fine.
Pull the plug in the bath.
Charleston has like weird live, like you can literally go to like Charleston live cams on Google and there's like 20 different of them that you can like tune into. It's really creepy actually. There's
that's so weird. I wish every restaurant had that so you could know how busy it is.
Well, that's what I was
we could do that.
Just gonna say is there's a place here called the Windjammer and they have a website called Jammer Cams and you can go and you can look at like
inside.
Yeah, like you can see like all of their cameras are up right now. Like there's one pointed towards the ocean. There's one on their like beach stage where they have their
Ain't no deleting footage, so you better behave when you're there.
No, literally. This used to be like a fun like Friday night activity for us. Like we would like pull up the jammer cams and be like, who's that Windjammer?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God, imagine you're like trying to stalk somebody. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God. Anyway,
enough about our
scared people.
Yeah, that was a fun little intro. Anyway, hi. We're going back to the 2000s today.
Are you surprised? Thanks for being patient with us as we took our week off because Lex was visiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird to talk like
in the future.
Yeah, because right now she's not here yet, but by the time that you hear this, she'll already be gone, and that's really fucking sad.
That is really sad. I actually just saw a TikTok the other day that talks about that, like when you get sad about stuff before it even happens, because you're like,
I always do.
Me
when
too.
I was making my little itinerary for us, I'm like,
yes, I know.
Like, I don't want to write that she leaves. I know. Like literally on my calendar on the fridge, it's like Lex leaves, sad face.
That's so sad.
Thanks for understanding, and hope we have enough episodes for you to catch up on while we took the break. Because sometimes I feel like people don't listen every single week, so then you could have other episodes to catch up on.
Took some time off. Now I'm back. Did the mother thing.
Took some break from slaying.
Yeah, we needed some time to recharge, and then figured what better way to pick up than with the light topic of early 2000s internet part 2.
Yeah, because we just can't help ourselves. We're obsessed with the 2000s, but now it's more focused on YouTube and like the internet,
like social media platforms, because we really only talked about like stuff from the 2000s, stuff that we remembered. This is more like specifically YouTube, because I feel like we didn't talk about that at all. And we literally got off and I was like, wait, we didn't talk about like YouTube or MySpace.
Whole
like
separate world that we were in.
Yes. And we spent a lot of time on there. So pretty familiar with a lot of these people.
I know. I truly feel like you either grew up like on YouTube or you didn't. Like so many people I feel like don't know all of these things unless they were like in that era of YouTube. But I was an only child, so this is all I did.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like I wasn't very familiar with them when anything was happening with them. Like I never like actively watched a lot of these people's content, but just being in that era, who these people are. It's more of like the funny videos. Yeah. I
I
was
was
like, way
watching
more
all of it.
yeah. I mean, now I feel like I'm way more familiar with everybody
Mhm.
and all of their drama. But yeah, let's take a dive into 2000s and probably like early 2010s
Mhm.
YouTube. Like I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of this kind of stayed relevant, or a lot of them even went on to continue to do a lot of this stuff, but I think a lot of what these people were doing in the early stages of YouTube is questionable.
Yeah.
Questionable if we should have been watching it, questionable if it should have been on the internet.
Yeah.
Um, I hate that so many of these people are having like just unfortunate things come out about them. I'm like, I want you to stay like pure in my brain as like a childhood memory and not somebody who's texting minors at 25
I
years old.
know. Literally. Yeah, pretty much everyone on this list I feel like was canceled at one point or another.
Mhm.
But that's showbiz.
That's showbiz, baby. I mean, even the first one on our list, Jenna Marbles.
Mhm.
Remember when she like got, I don't know if called out or in trouble, but for doing like the blackface? Like even some of her videos were like very questionable sometimes, but again,
Mhm.
I don't think we registered that at the time. Like it took until me
No.
becoming an adult and looking back and being like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was weird."
Yes. And it's yeah, we were like kids watching this, so I think
Mhm.
it just shows you how much these people have an influence on you as like children, because even like all these like tweets right now that are coming out about like Brooks Schofield and like
Mhm.
everyone's tweets and stuff, I'm like everyone's watching all these people and
Mhm.
they're making it seem like it's fine, and it's so yeah, it's wild like
Mhm.
the stuff that they could get away with then and say
Mhm.
and
But
do.
we've even said, like, I don't understand how somebody who's, like, actively, I guess, like, building a platform, like, how do you not go back and, like, delete these things? I mean, there are things, like, have you ever heard of the Wayback Machine? Like, you can literally put any website you want into the Wayback Machine and pick a date, and it'll show you exactly what that web page looked like on that day. So even if
Oh,
somebody
what?
deletes their tweets, like, you can go back and see. It doesn't work for every website and, like, every single thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are definitely ways to, like, see people's, like, archived tweets and stuff, and you never know, like, who's preying on your downfall and just has them
Mhm.
screenshotted and, like, ready to go,
Seriously.
but I just will
Scary.
never understand how they don't clean up their past actions before
Right.
putting themselves out there like that.
I know. They, like, wait till they get so big until
Mhm.
someone finds these things, and it's not to say they shouldn't be held accountable for those things, like,
No.
they 100% should. It's just
Mhm.
like, yeah, you would think you'd be like, "Oh, I said some fucked up shit back then,
Mhm.
maybe I should,
Yeah,
like,
because like,
not
even
have this
you.
on the internet."
Right, not even in a way where, like, being sketchy and deleting it, but just, like,
No.
you as an adult should acknowledge, like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
wasn't right," and you either address it before somebody else does, or you delete it and just hope nobody remembers it. I mean, not that
Mhm.
that's, like, okay, but because I do think they should be held accountable, but I also don't think, like, everybody's saying, like, "Oh, Brooke wasn't gonna address these until somebody brought it up." Like, nobody was ever she was never gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, guys, by the way,
Right.
I used to say these things," like, that was never gonna happen. You were just
Yeah.
gonna keep it quiet and hope that nobody found them, but that's what I mean is, like, you have to know in the back of your head that those things are there, like,
Mhm.
go get rid of them.
Seriously. But Jenna Marbles, I will never forget this tutorial. Um, as like a 11 or 12-year-old, I think I was watching this, of like how to make your boobs look bigger.
Oh,
And
yeah,
she
we
would
talked about that.
literally draw cleavage. Like you would literally take like makeup and put it right here, like pretending to make cleavage. And then like the blending. I truly think that is how I learned how to blend really well and like make everything cohesive because of her.
So, thank you for that.
So, thank you, yeah, Jenna Marbles, for
I
teaching me how to have cleavage at the ripe age of 11 where I didn't have
literally, when
a
I
thing
had
and people
none to
probably
know.
could tell. Like, oh my god.
My
It's just
favorite
so it's crazy to think about.
my favorite, like, tutorial or memory of hers is when she's putting all of the rhinestones on her face, and Julian in the background is like, "Wow." she's like, "What are you staring at?" And he's like, "You're just doing it really well." And she's like, "I didn't come to fuck around." Like, it's literally so funny. The audio was trending on TikTok not that long ago. It's 11:11. But I
She was
was thinking
a
it's so funny. She's like, "Thanks. I didn't come to fuck around." Like,
She was so funny,
she was
but
so funny. And Kermit, the dog.
mhm.
What was the other one? Kermit and, um
She's, like, not on the internet anymore, right? Like, she took a
no,
break and she's
yeah. She said that it all got too much for her mental health, and she took a Marbles, duh, that was the name of the other
oh,
dog, Kermit and Marbles. Um, but yeah, no, she
doesn't have
said that it
anything.
just, like, got too much for her mental health. I think it was, like, 2018 or 2019 that I don't know if she deleted all of her content, but she basically just, like, stopped making anything. But then her husband Julian, so before she stopped everything, he started like being in more of her content, and
Mhm,
now he streams. Like, he is now a content creator. So I think maybe she just likes seeing him do it and is like still supportive of it. But yeah, she said that it just
mhm.
became too much for
Yeah.
her mental health.
They got married
Um
in 2022.
yeah, that was the first time that anybody like saw pictures of her like since she like went dark, was her
Yeah.
wedding pictures that came out.
I don't blame her. I mean, all of these people that were on the internet for years and years and years, at this point, I feel like it's like the burnout and
Mhm.
I don't know, just all
Yeah.
their past actions.
Mhm. Yeah, I think she just knew, like, a lot of her content was made in good spirits, not that that takes away from the fact that some of it might be offensive to somebody, but I think she was just like, "Fuck it, I'm tapping out before this gets
Mhm.
worse and
Now,
before
YouTube
anybody
was a
starts."
great place in the 2000s, and it's just never gonna be that anymore. I
Mhm.
don't think everyone's out there to make money because, like, again, back in these days, they weren't making money. It was just for,
Right.
like, the entertainment purposes
Mhm.
of it, and so it was authentic and, like,
Yep.
creative and, like, everyone was doing skits and just, like, fun
Mhm.
things. Now I feel like everything is overproduced and, like
Well, everything's like a vlog and a day in my
yes,
life and, like, come shopping with me, do my Target
ads.
haul with me. Like, these people were doing this because they
Mhm.
just wanted to, not because they thought there was gonna be,
And
like, some
everyone was unique, like, it wasn't the
Mhm,
same trending thing. Everyone wasn't a copy and paste version of each other.
mhm.
I just missed that
No,
YouTube.
because even trying to copy any of like, a lot of the people that we have on this list, like, you can't. Like, you literally
Mhm.
can't copy them.
I
Like,
used to
anybody
love,
who would try to do Jenna Marbles content would just not
oh,
be the
yeah,
same.
no. No. I didn't even put, Andrea Russett on here because I really liked her videos that she
Mhm,
did. Did you ever watch her?
mhm.
Yeah, I liked her vlogs, I guess. I don't
But
know.
I
She's still
feel
kind of in the, like, doing things, but she's on a sober journey and, like, just, like, talking about all of that, how people had no idea during her YouTube days that she was, like, an
Mhm.
alcoholic, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at her Instagram right now because I haven't thought about her in a really long time.
I know. I don't know why I just randomly thought of her.
Yeah, that's
Another
really cool.
girl, I guess, that I watched.
Somebody else I spent a lot of time with. Um, and then the next one on our list, Shane Dawson. He
Mhm. Yeah, I used to love him. I
Mhm,
watched in real time all of his stuff, but
mhm.
again, another one that's, like, very controversial that did a lot of, like, racist things and not good. I mean, I can't list all the things that were
Bad.
brought up from back then. I mean, I was so young watching him, so I also didn't
Mhm.
understand back
Right.
then, but watching it now, I'm like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, like, we were
Mhm,
watching that." And I didn't right, it's like watching a movie when
mhm,
you're older
mhm.
and being like, "I didn't understand any of these parts or these
Right.
jokes or anything, and now I get it." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." It's just you're
Yeah.
so young and you don't understand.
Mhm.
But, like, they're older, so, like, they should be understanding that and how
Right,
it comes off, so
right.
yeah, but I used to love the series mostly about conspiracy theories because I
That's
just
what I mostly knew him as. Like, I
yeah,
do remember watching some of those when they would first come out, but a lot of, like, I guess, like, who he was, I didn't know a lot about. I just knew he had the conspiracy theory videos, and that was
yeah,
just what I knew of him. But yeah, I never watched like intentionally all of his stuff or anything.
Mhm.
Jenna Marbles,
Him
though, I was there every Wednesday with Garnet.
Yeah, Jeffree Star also. Well, I watched, like, a few of his things, but I wasn't, like, avidly watching him like I was Shane,
Mhm.
but I remember the series that Shane did with Jeffree Star, like, after he
Mhm.
got, like, canceled and everything and did the whole series with him, and
Yep. I do remember that.
yeah,
And
that
wait,
was
who got in trouble for going to the Japanese hanging forest? Do you know?
Logan and Jake Paul. Well, no, that was Logan Paul that went.
Was it just him?
Mhm. Oh, yeah, I didn't watch them either. I think they were, like, a little
Mm-mm.
bit like, younger people were watching them. But I
Yeah,
remember,
right.
like, that happening because we were, like, older.
I just remember it being, like, such a big deal that I remember watching the video because it was such a big deal, but I don't think
That
I
was
had any
awful.
idea
I don't
who they
even know
were.
how he made a comeback from that because people, like, love him because of boxing and the
Well, yeah,
WWE
now he's
shit.
just, like, a fighter and shit. I'm like,
Yeah, like a fake fighter in WWE.
we
Jake is
were
doing the real, like, boxing. Logan is doing the WWE. But yeah, they're both I don't know.
I guess
Not a
everybody needs an outlet. I guess his is punching people instead of getting
Yeah,
canceled on YouTube.
yeah. I think they're, like,
Everybody's
still on
hobbies
YouTube
change over
too.
time.
Yeah. I think they're still making videos though, like, on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, no, they like, he's still very active, I think.
Mhm.
Like, if not more than ever. And they have, like, a podcast and everything now.
Of course they do.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's just, like, I don't know, whole cancel culture thing, like, that's a whole different conversation in itself, but, like, I am very annoyed with a lot of people who, like the one that sticks out to me in my head that I want to be canceled so fucking bad is Michaela, the makeup girl.
Oh
Like,
my
I
god.
can't stand her, and she lies constantly and is just,
Yeah.
like, always saying these things, and now she did a brand new collab with Elf. I'm like, these big brands need to stop, like, giving them these opportunities.
Mhm.
Not that I think anybody deserves to, like, be canceled and, like, have no opportunities, but, like, I don't understand how these people can trust these people
I
after
know.
some of the things they've done and said and been called out for. So, I mean,
Right.
even with Logan Paul and all them, I'm like, I just don't think you, like, really deserve to have as many people, like, swooning over you as you do, but a lot of them are so young that they
Yeah.
same as us, like, they don't really understand how bad that was, or they don't
Mhm.
understand a lot of the stuff that they're saying.
No, it's weird. This
Mhm.
one I didn't ever, like I feel like I just always remember him being problematic. Onision,
I don't know if I remember that.
I feel like I just remember him being, like, problematic, and I never, like, watched wait, oh, I was like, "You're still
I don't know what just happened, but I just hit back and it came back. That was really weird.
Mm.
Oh, I remember exactly
I
who
can't,
this
like,
guy
remember
is.
his videos or anything, but I remember him and he did, like, crazy shit. What are some examples? Because he used to
Well,
do
wait,
crazy
so
shit.
I just typed in his name just to see a picture, but it brought me into his Reddit thread,
Mhm.
and yeah, he's still, like, extremely problematic.
Of course.
Like, I'm just
I
like,
never watched him.
literally
He wasn't,
in the
like
past 22 hours, there's 8 different, like, Reddit threads about just him and
shit.
the stupid shit he's done. Like, I think
Wow.
people think he's lying about having skin cancer right now from what I've
Oh
gathered
my
from this
god.
one
He's
tiny
also,
Reddit thread.
like, 38 years old. I need to
See, I
see.
feel like I wasn't as into people on YouTube, but I was watching like, later in our list, there's a lot of things on here that, like, that was more of what I was watching on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. I was, like, very into people, but maybe, like, because I mean, you're
Mhm.
4 years older, so it's like you were,
Right.
like, a little bit ahead of these
Mhm.
people.
Well, and we've talked about it too, like, I was more watching, like, reality shows
Mhm. And I
and
wasn't.
stuff
Yeah.
yeah, like, that's where I think so I wasn't really going to YouTube for, like, people to keep up with because I already had, like, 8 different MTV and TLC shows I was watching. But, like,
Mhm.
wait, so even I'm in this thread and it says Boogie is a pathetic con man in POS, but I think wait, how do you say it? Onision?
Onision? I don't know.
Onision's abuse and grooming of kids trumps anything that Boogie has done. So apparently he's gotten in trouble for that. Like, this is
Yeah, I think
crazy.
I remember that. Mhm. It's
Oh,
crazy.
apparently his real name is Greg.
Of course. Greg.
Yeah, I was never super familiar with him. As soon as I saw his face, though, I was like, I know exactly who this guy is, but I didn't know
Mhm.
anything about him. What were
Yeah.
his videos? Like, what were they
I
about?
don't even remember. I just remember them being, like, weird and
Yeah,
crazy, and, like, he was yelling, and I don't know, because I didn't really
so
watch
weird.
him, but I remember
Mhm.
seeing, like, snippets and, yeah, it was weird.
That's very strange. But yeah, as our list goes on, like this next one this was more of the YouTube that I was
Yeah, I was
watching
watching this too.
yeah, like,
Let's
let's
get
get
some
some
chips.
shoes.
What's his name?
That is what I was watching, and actually, wasn't that the same guy as the muffins one? That was the same
Yes,
person, right? Yeah. He
yes.
made, like,
What's
a
his
bunch
name?
oh my god, no idea, but let's find out.
Because he
Let's
literally just did this somewhere,
oh,
like the Let's Get
Liam
Some.
Kyle Sullivan.
Yeah, Liam Kyle Sullivan. Yes, he was iconic on YouTube.
Wait, wow, he only has 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I don't mean that, like, only, but I mean, like, a lot of these people were literally some of the first people making skits on YouTube, so you just would think
Mhm.
they'd be,
Yeah.
like, the other guy had, like, 7,000,000, like, that's what I was expecting this guy to
Wait,
have.
the other one that's so funny too is, My Son Is Gay, that one. Did you watch that one?
From this guy?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember it, but I'm looking through his page right now and I'm seeing like, I completely forgot about so
Hold
many
on.
of these. Like, do you remember the Mother Grandma skit that he would
Wait,
do?
no, this is a totally different person, but wait, do you remember this guy too? His name is Clay Weiner? Clay Weiner?
Wait, what
Wait,
is it?
hold on. Honestly, I think you need to pause and watch this right now. Intense.
Oh my god, I know exactly who this is. I don't know if I know which one you're talking about, but I just found his channel, and yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
My son is gay.
Yes. I don't know if I remember that one. Wasn't there another one about, like a Christmas tree or something, or Christmas time?
Why?
Oh my god, Shalloween, I remember that
And when
one.
he goes, he moved to the city and now he's gay. And he goes, "You're gay, you're gay."
I hope when people are listening to this that they also watch these people.
This was 17 years ago.
That's insane.
He's here. He's gay. Get used to it. And then when he goes like this, gay. Oh my god, it's just these crazy, like, videos that
I
has
know, I
4
think the
million views.
people the, like, skits were always like, that was
Yeah.
more of what I was but also it's funny because, like, now I look back, I'm like, "Those are actually, like, so annoying and, like, not funny." I'm like, "No wonder our parents were like, 'What the fuck are you watching on the internet?'"
Oh my god, I know. If anyone knows these, like, please tell us that we're not crazy 'cause, like, even now, I feel like when you show somebody these, like, they're not as funny, but, like, they
No.
are so funny to me forever because it was
Yeah.
so funny, like, in the moment. Like, the
Yeah.
annoying video where it's like, "Hey, Aaron."
Yeah.
Like,
No, like, if that video came out now, I would swipe past it on TikTok in a
I'd be like,
heartbeat.
"What
Like, I
the
would
fuck is
never
this?"
willingly watch that whole
I
thing,
know.
but because I already know that it's so funny and just iconic,
And
which
the
yeah, if you don't know what
how
we're
Abe
talking about
Lincoln really died, I'm like, "This production, like,
yes.
it's oh my
And
god."
what's that guy's name? So if you don't know, there's a YouTube and he has the video is just called isn't it just called Annoying?
Yeah, annoying. And then the other one is how I don't think it's the same it's not the same person, but how Abe Lincoln really died, like, it's just called
Mhm.
that, and it's, like, them doing this play, and oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
No, the annoying one is so funny. He's like, "Hey, Aaron, Brody, shut the fuck up."
An earthquake struck in Chicago
Yeah.
today.
Does he say something about getting ice cream for breakfast?
Yeah. Yeah,
Didn't we watch it in Dallas?
I think so. And I, like, have it all memorized, and it's cringe, but,
That is so funny.
like, Mark
God,
has
do
no
they
idea about any of these, like, if I've tried to show him these, and he's like, "That's not funny." I'm like, "It's so."
I'm like, it's actually hilarious. We need to sit
Sorry,
him
you don't
down
have a
while I'm
sense
there
of
and give him
humor.
a whole okay, 2001, that's where we're
No,
starting.
literally. Let's go year by year of my favorite videos.
We need to make him watch every
These
Fred
are just
video
my
that
home
ever
videos because
existed.
I don't have any videos of me as a child, so these are my home
These
videos.
are my home videos.
These are what I count from my childhood because I don't have
These are my
videos.
friends.
These are my friends.
These are all my friends. This was my best friend growing up.
And say hello to use napkin.
Okay, but wait,
Damn
we have to talk about
bitch.
Fred. Because
I
I
know.
feel like
Oh
his
my
videos were the
god.
most annoying. Like, I feel like
So
his
annoying.
literally entire everything and then do you know he got a show for a little while on
Yeah.
Nickelodeon?
Yes.
He was
I wonder,
so
like, how
annoying.
that he is so annoying, but that was the point.
But that was the point, and I think there were a lot of people that found it hilarious, not annoying. I
Mhm.
personally was annoyed with him.
It's just, like, he almost reminds me of a JoJo Siwa where they're, like, so much older, but they're pretending to be young and, like, to
Mhm.
appeal to the younger
Yep.
generation, and then
Mhm.
the hard part about that is I literally just watched Be Better Marketing. He just did the downfall of, like, JoJo Siwa, and
Oh,
he
God, I
talked
love
about
him.
how, like, oh, she thinks she did her Miley Cyrus era or whatever,
Yeah, she
and
thinks she does.
but her Miley's audience was the same age, and we were growing up with her, and it's the
Mhm.
same with Fred, like, we're the same age, but watching
Mhm.
him act as this, like, younger person that's, like when you have viewers who are
Mhm.
5, 6, 7 years old, they're not growing up with you, so now that you're in this bad girl era, like, they're still, like, 10, like, they're not
Mhm.
in that they can't relate to you, so I think with Fred, that was what happened too, because he was trying to act like a little kid, he had little kid
Mhm.
viewers, so then when he
Mhm.
wanted to, like, grow up, they didn't
There
grow up
was
with
no
him.
growing up.
Now you can't relate to your age demographic, you
Right,
know?
right, well, that's what's happening with JoJo, she's like exactly like you said, she didn't take her
Mhm.
current audience, like, through this journey with her, she left her current audience and is trying to shove
Yeah.
herself into a different one, and it's
Yes.
just not working.
No, like Tana Mojo, same thing. I always religiously watched her, but we were like
Mhm,
the same age. Like she's 26, I'm pretty sure, or 25.
mhm,
So we were like growing up together. So it
mhm,
was more relatable. And now that she's the same age as me, I still am like following her and
mhm.
watch, even though she got canceled for a lot of fucking shit. But I feel like she's the one person that's not cancelable. You can't cancel her.
No, you
You
literally can't because
literally
she
can't.
doesn't
Like
care,
she
and I
doesn't give a
also
fuck.
she's done a lot of very bad things, but I also think, I think it has a lot to do with the people she was, like, associating herself with for a long time, and
She
I
also didn't
think
have a family. Like her
Mhm.
freaking parents were like,
Well, yeah, her videos started as her being like, "I live by myself, and, like, I'm figuring out life," and, like, just
they're
crying
crazy,
and
like, she
sad
lived
about
with her best friends' families and, like, moved
Mhm.
out at 18 because her
Mm,
parents are fucking crazy,
right.
like, crazy.
Mhm.
So, it's also hard when you don't have parents, like
Stability, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, and it's
yep.
funny, I mean, her brand is so like, I think it needs to be, like, studied, like,
No, I
literally,
know.
because
Literally.
it's just like, anybody else, like, crying in their YouTube videos, I would be like, "Goodbye," like, swipe past you, but her, for some reason, like, I don't know if it was just how, like, open she was about everything, like, I always wanted to hear what she had to say,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah, her
funny too
story
because
times were she
Mhm.
was the creator of story times, like, for real.
Storytime vlogs, get ready with me.
She
Mhm.
started that shit, and they were the craziest stories. I'll never forget the one where she's,
Mhm.
like, talking about this I forget where she even was, but she's like, "You're a cunt,"
Oh,
like,
yes.
screaming into the camera.
Mhm.
She
The
just had the
bleach in tone
craziest
will
stories.
forever live in my head.
I know.
Can I have a bleach in tone? Can you do a
Bleach
bleach
and
in
tone.
tone?
And I'm like, it's
Mhm.
so funny that that sound is coming back because I remember that video from so
Right.
long ago.
Mhm. Yeah,
Ah,
there's so many that that Jenna Marbles one where she goes, "Thanks, I didn't come to fuck around." That, like, every once in a
mhm.
while will start trending on TikTok. Like, I love when these
Yeah,
little clips come back. I mean, there's a
I
lot that
know.
I wouldn't mind if they just stayed in the past, but
I know. Yeah, no, Tana Mojo is uncancelable in my opinion,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
she
I
literally
think
needs
she's an icon, and I fucking love her, so
Mhm. Don't love everything she does and says
no,
just because it can be a little offensive to some people, but it's
but at
kind of
the same
admirable
time,
that
she doesn't give a fuck, and I respect
Mhm,
that.
yep. Like, she's just out here living and doing whatever she wants.
Mhm. Like,
But
they say, like, her and Brooke say on their podcast, they're like, "If I say something and it's not, like, true or, like, backed up by something, like, that's also on you for believing it."
yeah,
Like, do your
and
own research.
and I don't disagree with that, to
I
be
don't disagree with
honest.
that.
Well, that's how I feel with, like, fake news. I'm like, if you didn't take 2 seconds to, like, Google and confirm something, like, I don't like, you're just blindly believing something that you
Mhm.
saw. Like, I don't know. We talk about this all the time. I could never be drafted into a cult because I would question everything.
Literally. Mhm.
But then there were the more, I mean, for lack of better terms, annoying ones that, again, I wouldn't mind if they stayed in the past. Like, annoying orange was annoying, but it's again these things that are like icons. Like, I remember going to
I
school
know.
and everybody's talking about them or everybody's seen them. Like, they were just such key parts of our media growing up, and
I
it's
know.
so weird because, again, looking back now, I'm like, I don't think you could pay me to sit through an entire one of these videos right now because I just don't find them funny anymore. But,
No.
like,
I know.
I could
Annoying Orange, Marcel the Shell. Oh my god, I used to love that video.
Mhm. That one was more cute. Like,
It was
that was
cute.
more mhm.
One time I ate a piece of cheese and my cholesterol went up to 900. That one was cute. It was just, like, so like, I don't know how people thought of those
Yeah,
things.
it's just random. Like, I just
Yeah.
always I'm like, "Who thought of that one day?"
Random dancing.
Yeah.
Hi, Carly. Yeah, no, they were so fucking random. Wait, Charlie the Unicorn, I don't know that one. Or don't
You don't?
or maybe I do. Hold on.
"We're going to Candy Mountain, Charlie."
Oh my god, yeah.
It's a oh my god, what does he say? It's a
That's so
pterodact
weird.
oh my god, what does he say about the dinosaur that comes? Hold on, it's so funny. Like, that one I still think is really funny. I'm looking at "Shun the non-believer." It's a Leopleurodon, Charlie. That's the part that I'll never like, that
I
live
do remember that now,
it's a
yes.
Leopleurodon.
Oh my god.
Like
Yeah, that was funny.
wait, did you hear me ask earlier, did you ever watch the Potter Puppet Pals? Do you
What?
know do you know what I'm talking about?
Potter Puppet Pals.
The Potter Puppet Pals YouTube, and they were all little Harry Potter puppets, and they would sing the
Wait,
songs.
yeah. Hold on.
Ron, Ron,
Ron
Ron
Weasley.
Weasley.
Yes, yes, I remember these. Yes. Hermione,
I don't know how many there
Hermione,
were, I just
Hermione,
yeah, I
Snape,
remember, like,
Snape,
the
Severus Snape,
Dumbledore,
Dumbledore.
and
Oh
then
my
they all blow
god.
up from a bomb at the end, like, it's so weird. I mean, yeah, exactly like you said, I'm just like, where did these people think of
Yeah,
these things? And, like, even some of, like, the Charlie the Unicorn, Michelle the Marcel the Shell, like, those are all, like, animations that would have taken, like, a very long time to make.
I
"Hello,
know,
Bunny.
I heard noises.
Welcome." He's like, "I have things to say about YouTube."
I heard things. Have you heard of my TikTok?
He's like, "I see some of them on TikTok."
Yeah, no, we had very weird videos, weird things
Weird
going on.
times.
Okay, onto the fun internet things though.
Mhm.
MySpace.
Yes. This was
My MySpace is still up, but I can't like look at my photos or anything. Like they just don't load or any. It's just like a little box.
wait,
But I never
wow,
was able
that's
to
so
log
weird.
into it or like delete it or anything. I had some crazy photos on there. Like I remember one time I did a photo shoot with my friends that I was trying to do like this model, like pretend you're crying. So like I did all of this like black eyeliner and then splashed water on my face. So it was like literally pouring down everywhere, like
I
this
love this
eyeliner.
for you.
And I teased my hair with a bottle of vodka. I teased my hair and I was wearing this like flannel. And I remember just being up against a wall and I was like this, like with like tears streaming down my face. Like it
That's so
was,
funny.
and they're still up. And I'm like, thank God when you Google my name, you can't see those
I
because it
would
was a
love to
whole ass photo
find
shoot. Like there were many of these photos.
I just watched a TikTok the other day, I don't remember who it was from, but it was them talking about how we are going to live in a photoless world. Like, okay, let me see if I can break this down the way that she meant it. A lot of us have maybe not even very many. I mean, my house burned down when I was little, so we lost like everything, but like there are a significant amount of people now not printing out their pictures. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're leaving them on Facebook, they're leaving them,
Yeah.
in their phone. And do you remember Photo Bucket?
Yeah.
So, do you know that I was done with it by this point, but apparently Photobucket just like shut down one day and like wouldn't give anybody their stuff. Like people lost all of their photos. And that was what she meant was like, say you do leave like all of your stuff on Facebook, like Facebook goes away one day, you just lost everything. Like we are
Mhm.
leaning towards living in a world where a lot of people aren't going to have a lot of things to look back on because we're so trusting in technology.
Mhm.
And it like really tripped me out for a second. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god," because I would die to know what was in my photo bucket that I'll never see again.
Mhm.
Again, I was done with it by that point, so it clearly wasn't stuff but you would just always think like, "Oh, I can log into that whenever." Now,
Mhm.
like, I couldn't get into my old MySpace account if I tried. Like, I
Oh,
don't
no.
even
I don't
remember what
think
my
they let you. Like, it doesn't
yeah.
allow you to, I don't think, because I've tried. Um, but yeah, that's so true, but I think now too, it's so much harder to print photos because we're taking photos all the time. Like, back then, you, like,
Mhm.
rarely took photos, so it was easy to get, like, a few printed and make an album. Now I'm like, I feel
Right.
like literally every year my album would be, like,
Mhm.
I don't even know, it'd be huge.
Mhm.
Like, it would be crazy, but I also miss, like, going through albums, like, it's so
Mhm.
fun to go through albums instead of just, like, the phone.
Like, swiping through. Well, because I
Mhm,
also think exactly like you said, I mean, we were working with, like granted, I mean, digital cameras became a thing eventually, but, like, really we were working with, like, film cameras, like, disposable cameras, and you get, what, 40 pictures per roll? Like, you
yeah,
knew like, now we have an unlimited amount that we can take. We knew before, "Okay, we have 40 pictures on this thing." Like, that's it.
mhm,
So I think we were, like
totally,
instead of snapping a million times,
mhm.
we were very, like, more intentional with what we were taking the pictures of. But yeah, that's I don't know how I would fit everything into also 90% of my pictures would just be my dogs, and I'm
No,
like,
for real. Like,
"How
I
many
have, like,
photo albums do
6,000
I need to
photos,
have?"
I'm like, "'Kay, well, 4,000 of those are Benny, so,
Yeah.
like,
I
how am
don't
I
even
gonna
know how many are in
choose?"
my
That's
phone
like
at this
when I had to make my calendar of Benny for the year, I'm like, "How do I choose what photos I'm gonna use?"
right.
There's just too many options now because we
Mhm.
take too many fucking pictures.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is a weird concept. Weird.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just weird to think about that we all, like, trust the internet so much to just, like, keep all of our stuff secure for us, but anyway, okay, so MySpace itself was a crazy time on the internet because it was really the first I don't know if this is accurate, but to me it's accurate, the first social media platform that we all were really, like, flocking to and using in this way.
Mhm.
Like, I think before then we had AOL, like, the instant
Yeah.
messenger. All you really get on that is to edit your profile and to put an away message up.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it. Then we went to MySpace, which you have friend requests, you have a wall that people are writing on, you're literally putting your
I
top 8
remember, like, I remember signing up for
Yeah,
MySpace,
me
and I
too.
remember, like, doing my bio, and I remember adding people, and it was so
Mhm.
exciting, like, oh my god, it was like a
Yep.
time.
And it was really a ti like, it was really the first time that, like, music artists or, like, bands were making, like, a MySpace for this band. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was when
Yeah.
we really first started to have, like, the
Yeah.
instant and constant access to, like, celebrities like that.
Mhm.
But, like, MySpace was just like, we were openly putting who we really liked that day, like, in a ranking from 1
Like,
to
our
8.
top friends, and then, like, if you went to someone's page and you thought they had beef or something, like, you would see if they're still in their top
Yeah.
friends, and they'd be gone, and you're like, "Oh, they're not
Mhm.
friends anymore," or, like, something happened
Yep.
that they, like and when you could make music on your profile,
Oh, you had
when
a
you could put a
profile song?
song to your profile, mine was "Kiss Kiss" by Chris Brown.
That is so funny. Mine was Dear Maria by All Time Low. For a long time. Well, no, I think I definitely had some, like, Lil Wayne in there at some point too, but
Yeah,
I
they
remember
changed, like, it was between
well, because
literally
eventually you could make a whole playlist.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what started is you could only pick one song, and then it went to, like you could have the whole little, like, player. But, like,
Mhm.
I was so convinced I was gonna
The
become, like
player.
mhm.
Oh my god.
Like, I was so convinced that because I taught myself how to, like, code MySpace layouts, like, I thought for sure that skill would, like, come in handy eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally building full on MySpace layouts from code, like numbers and symbols and like, what?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, that's
insane.
wild.
We were changing the font, we were changing
Yes.
the
Yes, the
background.
fonts, the background. Oh my god.
My friends used to, like, ask me all the time to make layouts for them because I would spend so much time and effort on them. Like, I guess it did kind of
Yeah,
turn out to
it
be what
did.
I kinda
Yeah,
do, but,
look at
like
you.
mhm. Like, I actually remember I would always go to this one website, and it was a fabric website, like, you could order fabric, but they
Mhm.
would show the patterns of the fabric in these perfect little squares that would, like, match up when you put them next to each other, so I would just
I
save
think I did that too, 'cause
mhm, like, I
I wasn't coding, but I remember, like, saving things and making them the background instead.
mhm. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I was in there, like, fucking ampersands and fucking numbers and changing I'm like, "How did I even know?" Like, just Google, I guess?
Lex is in the back of a van with her fucking 3 computers.
No, literally, I'm like, "What was I doing?" I got, like, so into
Yeah,
it, though.
I love that.
But
That's so
even just the way we used MySpace was so weird, like, we would be writing on each other's walls, like, just out in the open, or, like, do you remember when the quizzes were a thing? Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. It's like,
who
"Who
was
did
the
you
last
kiss
person you
last?" And
thought
you're
about?
like and I just remember I was so, like, sassy in mine, like, those
Mhm.
quizzes. I would be, like, pretending as if someone's, like, invading my privacy sometimes, the way I would answer. I'd be like,
Same.
"None of your business."
No,
And I'm like,
literally same.
"What the
Or it
hell?"
would depend on, like, the day, like, if, like, I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to, like, answer it, like, maybe me and a friend were in, like, a little tiff, and I'm like,
Oh,
"You
yeah,
don't
and
need
then
to
you
worry about who my best friend is today."
literally.
Like
Like, or you just list everyone but them, and it was just oh my god, we
but
were
it's
toxic.
so funny because it would be like, "How many tattoos do you have? How many piercings do you have?"
I
And it
know.
we're, like, 13,
And
and we're
we're
like,
like, "None?"
"0,
Question
2
mark.
years." Like, it's
I would
so
literally write and be like, "LOL, none?" Question mark. Like, just being like, "Obviously," you know?
right.
Oh my
I
god.
can't
But
stand
then
us.
that carried over into Facebook a little bit because I remember, like, 8th grade
Mhm,
and freshman year, I was still posting on, like, walls with people, like, just
mhm.
outwardly having conversations, and I remember so many
Yeah.
people would get mad at me and my friends because we would literally just, like, chat back and forth or, like, do photos on each other's walls back and
Mhm.
forth
We used to
24/7, and people are like,
record,
"Get
like
this off my wall," and I'm like, "No, unfriend me."
right. We would, like,
God.
record this was so wild. We would literally just record webcam videos to each other, like, on the
Yes.
wall. Like,
Yes.
literally just be like, "Hey, bitch."
Yes.
Like
I just got a pop-up of one legit today, I think, of
oh,
somebody
yeah, you've
on my
sent me a
wall.
bunch of yours. Literally, I'm so sad that everything that I ever had is gone, but it's also probably for the better.
And, like, the oh my god, the way text messages used to look. Hold on, is it gonna load? Like
Oh my god, do you remember the original iPhone layout? That's crazy.
I
I mean,
literally
I
see
just
one of my
found this
friends that
website.
showed me, like, just a picture of her dog on my wall, just saying, "I can't even handle this." Like, we coulda texted, and, like, random people would just join in the conversation, or they just like the post, and you're like it's just so funny, like, this is so funny.
I'm using the Wayback Machine right now to see if I can find my old MySpace. Damn. I wish I could remember my old MySpace URL so bad.
Mine was, like, XX Vika Love, I'm pretty sure, or it was, like, Vika 98 or something like that, I don't know. Why I call myself Vika? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I remember when you told me that I said I was gonna start calling you just get you a
Yeah.
little nickname. We could go on for literally ever about how crazy MySpace was in that era, but I mean, there
Uh,
wasn't really any, like, social media between that and Facebook that at least I used. Did
yeah,
you?
no.
Like, I think I went
No,
right
and I
from
remember
MySpace.
everyone was so anti-Facebook when
Mhm.
Facebook came out, and they're like,
Yeah.
"We're never leaving MySpace," and then, I don't know, for somehow we all just ended up migrating over to Facebook.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and it's do you remember when Facebook first
Fine.
started and you had to be, like, invited by somebody? Like, you
Yeah.
somebody had to, like, vouch for you to, like,
Yeah,
join.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
so
remember that.
crazy. But after we put out our first episode about the 2000s, I don't know if you saw this, but somebody commented, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it was. They commented on one of our reels about it, and they were like, "What about Emerald Chat?" And I was like, "What the fuck is Emerald Chat?" So I was looking it up. It's apparently like just the new version of Omegle and Chat Roulette. I mean, Chat Roulette is still active, but apparently there's a new age one called Emerald Chat, which like, do I think Chat Roulette still needs to be active? No. But like, why are we making new ones? Like, I
I
don't
know.
think the world needs a new Omegle, like
No.
at all.
So
But I
interesting. I
had
wonder
no
what
idea
it's
that
like
there
on
were
there.
new ones.
No, I didn't know either, but we're also not like looking for
Looking for
chats. So makes sense why we don't know about it.
Mhm. No, I'm just shocked, like, even with, like, the weird, like, conspiracy and inappropriate, like, things on the internet stuff that I'm like, seeing on TikTok that it was never even, like, brought up.
I know. Well, all the weirdos need somewhere, I guess, to go. So
They need somewhere to go.
yeah, so they probably made it.
Well, not us.
Not much has changed, but we live with the trauma.
But yeah, I think there's a million more things to the 2000s that we could
These have
talk.
all shaped us in one way or another.
Mhm. Yeah,
I think they made us
unfortunately.
funny.
It's what made us who we are today, and
Mhm.
we wouldn't be who we are today if it weren't for Tana Mongeau and
Nickelodeon, YouTube,
Shane Dawson.
MySpace.
I mean, thank God we had, like, a little moral compass, or maybe we would have
Yeah.
been also making videos like these people and ended up like them, but
I used to make so many videos. I Oh my god.
well, none that were like, Fred
Um,
or
no.
Marcel the
I
Shell.
honestly, like, I won't lie, I made day in the life videos when I was, like, 11 or 12, but they were on my photo booth, like, on my Dell laptop,
That is
and I would
so
edit them
funny.
in, like, iMovie, but I never posted them because I was too scared. But I fucking should've, like, God, we could have been on these brand trips by now.
I know, we imagine the difference if we had just taken the plunge. I never made, like, videos about myself, but I was always the friend, like, when like, I was always recording stuff and, like, taking
Yeah.
pictures of stuff, and then I would make, like, videos of all of those things, like, all mushed together on just, like,
Yeah.
literally the Windows, like, movie editor,
Yeah,
like,
and then once, like,
nothing
people
serious.
started getting, like, a MacBooks, like, I remember in freshman year of high
Mhm.
school, 8th grade and freshman year, like, me and my friends would make, like, those, like, compilation webcam
Mhm.
videos and post
Well,
them
I
to
feel like
Facebook, and they're still
the
up.
great. I love that. We can play
Didn't
them
say
anywhere.
anything bad in them, though, we just did, like, little skits that were, like, random and danced, and I don't know.
Yeah, I have a bunch of dancing videos of me and my best friend growing up to the Cheetah Girls specifically. Like, we thrived on the Cheetah Girls album, whole routine and everything on the trampoline.
Oh my god,
But
so
yeah, I
good. Mine was
remember,
like
like, the photo booth, like, in the Mac
yeah,
computers was, like, iconic because it came with, like,
mhm,
all of the filters and you could, like,
yes,
do different things with them. Have
and
I ever
literally
told you the
used
story
that
about the
until, like,
time we took a picture
sophomore
of a ghost on the Mac photo booth? I'll
year.
have to
No.
find the pictures.
Ew,
It
I
was
don't like
at
that.
one of my friend's house that was, like, extremely, extremely haunted, whether you believe in this stuff or not, there it was, and there was a day that we had her laptop open, like, on the kitchen table, and we were taking there was, like, 10 of us. We were taking, like, photo booth pictures, and in the background, you can literally see a little head appear in one picture, and then the next picture, it's gone, and, like, that's how we saw it as we were, like, clicking through them really fast, and we were like, "Wait, what the fuck was that?" I'm gonna see if I can find them. She had them on Facebook for a long
Oh
time, but
my
I don't know if
god,
they're still
dude.
there. Mhm.
That's scary.
Yeah. It was extremely alarming, but also that was the house that we all had, like, weird experiences in, so it was to be
Mhm.
expected. Sorry, trigger warning, ghosts.
After the fact. Uh,
Oh, I forgot that their Facebook is gone. That
damn.
sucks. Yeah, so I definitely don't have them. Hmm.
Rip. Well, that's okay. Didn't need to see it.
Yeah, no, it's, like, actually very scary, so maybe it's just good that it stays in the
Yeah.
well,
Good chat. I
yeah, about the 2000s. I love going on these,
know. We promise we are maybe. Actually, I can't promise that we're done with the 2000s because we'll probably be back at some point with something from the 2000s. But we just needed to get these off our chest, these last couple things, because we need to know if you remember these things. So let us know in the comments on this episode or on Instagram.
Let us know what we forgot. I'm sure there's literally a million that we're forgetting.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know what you think shaped your adolescent brain. Let us know who your favorites were. But yeah, comment on here on Spotify, or if you're listening on Apple, just come over to Instagram with us and let us know in our DMs.
And if you haven't yet, please rate our podcast what you think we deserve. We would really appreciate it. Okay, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys next week. Love
Bye.
you.
Thanks for hanging. If you aren't sick of us yet, jump over to the Socially Unfiltered Pod Instagram.
Check out the Social Media Manager Blueprint.
And everything else you'll need can be found in the show notes.
And we'll see you next Monday.